Good afternoon all, hope you're doing alright. Here we go, another machine, another machine. This is like the machines I've had before, the Revox A77s, but this one is the suitcase model. And the reason why it's called a suitcase model because it has a cover that goes over the top, and it has 4 speakers, 2 speakers either side, so you don't have to plug it into a stereo. Well, you can if you want to, but it's got its own independent amplifiers, which is brilliant, all built in inside in its own speakers. So anyway, I found this tape. You know, I buy tapes in bulk. I don't know where they come from, probably from deceased owners or whatever, but I found this tape. It's under the Irish label. Oh yes sir. Anyway, so yeah, nice tape actually. Look at that, Irish. And I'm going to play it because I'm fed up with playing music and getting copyright all the time. There is another video of this on my vintage audio channel if you have a look, and I'll put a link at the bottom anyway, but I played some music on it, and yeah, it's all classical music, and guess what, got a copyright. I can't believe it. Just a warning, you know, it's not a warning, just saying your music's copyrighted, the music you've played, and you can't monetize it and all that shit. But it doesn't matter because the vintage audio channel is not monetized anyway. So anyway, so there we go. So I'm going to play this tape. I think it comes from a family in a place up north from here called Gloucestershire, because I can hear that accent, that Gloucestershire. I'm very good at picking up on accents, and I'm sure this is a Gloucestershire accent. And this tape was recorded on a stereo machine, because when I switch it to channel 1 or channel 2, I'm getting the same feed. You know, there's nothing played backwards, if you see what I mean. If it was recorded on a mono 2-track machine, the other side would play in, let me get this right, it will play in reverse. Yeah, so it's been recorded on a stereo 2-track machine like what this is, so I can leave it on the stereo setting and it's absolutely fine. But at least I won't get copyright on this. Well, I hope not. I'll tell you what, if anyone out there can identify who this family is, please let me know. It's intriguing. I would really like to find out. Anyway, let me put the machine into play. The switch is broke, by the way. I've got to fix that. So that input switch, the guy I bought it off didn't tell me about that. It just goes round and round. It should click. Swine. So I'm going to take all this front panel off and disassemble it and fix the little contacts inside. So it should click like this one. Let me show you. You hear that? That's how it should work. This one just goes round and round. Look, I can hear, you hear that? I can hear bits inside falling around. Bummer. What a bummer. Anyway, let's play this. Have a listen.
I suppose of Mr. and Mrs. Phillips to invite me to their party. The party is well under the way, and so I've been asked to do my bit. I ain't much good singing, but here goes, I'll have a go.
Mr. and Mrs. Phillips.
Once in Royal David City stood a lowly cattle shed, where a mother laid her baby in a manger for his bed. Mary was that mother mild, Jesus Christ her little child. Well folks, that's all. I'll leave somebody else to carry on now.
Right.
Cheerio.
That's a Gloucestershire accent.
I've done my bit. Next one please.
So obviously this family is called Mr. and Mrs. Phillips, because she just said I was invited by...
This is BBC,
Oh yeah.
just about to give the news. Never thought that I would ever elevate to such a position. We have been enjoying our evening very much. I think it's time that we soon take our departure, say farewell to our house. A very happy Christmas to you all.
Obviously it's Christmas.
We've thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. Good night, everybody.
Sounds magnificent. I still need to change all the components, all the capacitors need doing, because it doesn't record very well, funny enough. I tried it last night, it records terribly. It could be that switch that's causing trouble, the faulty switch. So But I need to take all the boards out and change all the capacitors on
Shall we
it.
have one?
Well, there we go.
What, one of those bottles?
That's a Gloucestershire accent, 100%.
Well, go on, say something.
I don't know what to talk about.
I don't know what to say. What was the same, innit? Record something. Say something. I don't know what to say. Anyway, that's enough of that. Wow, there we go. Bloody hell, it's amazing. So I'm trying to hold this phone with one hand, so it might shake a bit. Sorry about that. But this is another reason why I like buying all these old tapes on eBay, because you never know what you might find. I mean, you could even come across a recording made by Joe Meek, the famous record producer, and if you found a recording like that from one of his family members, whatever, boy, that would be worth a lot of money. But yeah, so there we go. This is a mystery tape played on my Revox A77 MKII, circa 1967 onwards, I think this machine was. So there we go, and that was a tape. Apparently it comes from Mr. and Mrs. Phillips, somewhere in Gloucestershire, I presume. So there's a few clues there. If anyone can identify this family, please let me know. They might even want the tape back. I don't know. They might say, oh, it's all those precious recordings on the tape, and we wouldn't mind it back. Well, you know what I'll do? I'll transfer it onto a CD for them. I won't give them the tape back because I paid for it. What the hell? I'll make them a CD of this. So I can quite easily do that. So there we go. Yeah, so there's the speakers. See, there's one at the top there, one at the bottom, same on the other side. But as I said, that switch is faulty, which a guy never told me about. Swine. And as I said, it's got 7 plug-in boards, and all the components, capacitors need changing, because I tried to make a recording last night. Even with that faulty switch, I managed to click it into some sort of position, but it came out really loud through the speakers, and I thought I was going to bust the speakers. It was really like tremendous. So it's not working right. So as I said, I've got to change all the components. I'll just work through it bit by bit. First order of call is the switch. I've got to fix that first, and then I'll pull out all the boards and work on them one by one. So it's going to be a bit of a long job, but you know, winter's coming up, so I've got loads of winter projects. So anyway, if you want to hear it play any music, albeit it's only old classical stuff, because I thought I wasn't going to get a copyright, not strike, a warning, whatever, you can have a look on my vintage audio channel, and I'll put a link on that. So anyway guys, I'm going to get back to work now because I'm busy fixing all these machines. I've got about 8 on the go at the moment, would you believe? So I'm jumping from one to the other when the parts arrive. So I've got work on an early 1961 machine at my kitchen. That's next on the list. So there we go. Let me just show the fast forwarding and all that. Works great. And it plays the big tapes, you know, the big 10.5-inch reels, the big silver ones. It's the same as the other machines I got. But this is, as I say, it's the suitcase model, and I've always wanted a suitcase model version of this machine. But unfortunately it's got a few faults. Look at that, perfect. But I got it a bit cheaper. I mean, saying cheaper, I've never really paid that much for a Revox A77, to be honest, except for the very first one I ever bought. I bought that years ago when it was still fairly new. But yeah, let's play a bit more of this. Alright, let's have it.
You drink that one? No?
Can I'm not alone.
Well, there's no room for anybody else on the tape when she starts.
Having their Christmas meal.
No, because you wouldn't have chatted like that if you know it's on.
No.
It doesn't sound so. If you now, you
But it's far better. When I first heard it, I heard it on a couple of speakers costing £90 a pair. And it sounded just as though the orchestra was in the room. It was marvellous. But with the small speakers on there, it's not big enough. The wood is not solid enough to take all the unnecessary vibrations.
Oh dear, someone's got a cough. Right, that's enough of that.
One thing I'd have.
Right, let's try rewind. Rewind's fine, everything works fine. they're quite reliable, the brakes on the Revox. You don't really get many issues, hardly at all, to be honest. Look at that, perfect. Oh, sorry about the shake there. It's just I've got to hold the phone with one hand. It's a nightmare. So anyway, let me upload this onto my channel. So I'll put a link to my Harvey's Vintage Audio and Reel to Reel Heaven. I might shorten that, you know. It's just Harvey's Vintage Audio. What do you reckon? Any suggestions, or shall I keep it Harvey's Vintage Audio and Reel to Reel Heaven? No, I'll leave it, I don't know, for now. Anyway, folks, hope you enjoy this, and remember, this is a Revox A77 MKII, circa 1967 to 69. I think they made this, something like that. Anyway, so a lot of work to do on this machine to get it tip top, and I shall talk to you all later. Bye for now.